When it comes to EVs, when it rains, it pours for Subaru. They had the Solterra in 2024, then substantially updated that EV in late 2025, and here we are in mid-2026 with the Trailseeker wagon version of that car imminently going to customers, and this, the Uncharted, a smaller but closely related and sportier coupe-like EV launching in July. Let's go through the Uncharted and see what it has to offer. I'm Nathan Ponchard and this is Chasing Cars.
Chasing Cars, honest reviews of your next car.
Brought to you by
Direct. Being very closely related to the Solterra means that the Uncharted has the same powertrain, 252 kilowatts and standard all-wheel drive with just one spec of model. In terms of price positioning, the Uncharted all-wheel drive's pretty close to the base Solterra. This is 65,400 drive away in New South Wales. The base Solterra is 67,500 drive away, and the Solterra Touring, which is the spec match for this Uncharted here, is 73,800 drive away. But they are different when it comes to dimensions. The Uncharted here is 155 millimeters shorter than the Solterra. It is 10 millimeters wider and 25 millimeters lower. So it's a little bit more squat and making it a little bit sportier. The gap here between the front and rear wheels, the wheelbase is 100 millimeters shorter. So it's all about making it a little bit less boxier and blockier and a little bit more sexier. We should point out though that the elephant in the room might be that this isn't just a Subaru, it is also the Toyota CHR Plus, which is the all-electric, unrelated version to the CHR that is coming to Australia in mid-2027, but the Uncharted is going to beat its Toyota twin by a year. So here it gets to stand alone on its own for some period of time. This vehicle here in flare orange, which is the hero colour, really does look pretty cool. It takes the DNA of the styling at the front that debuted on the updated Solterra, gets rid of that really ugly grille and gives it a proper EV look. These alloys here, they're kind of smoked black with a gloss 5-star pattern in the middle, look really, really cool. Same width as on the 20s on the Solterra, 235/50. R20, and it just has quite a cool look about it. You can get a black roof, so you get two-tone. This one does not have that, but it does have the optional panoramic glass roof, and it has a CHR signature, which is the hidden door handles at the back here. So the combination of this sort of semi-coupe styling, these blistered bits in the doors, just makes it look a lot more youthful and sexier than the Solterra does. And when you think about the sizing of it, it is perfectly positioned between the combustion engine Crosstrek and the Solterra that is larger than it, and then obviously the Trailseeker wagon over that. From the rear, you can see the shape of the roofline, that very subtle spoiler at the top of the tailgate here, another gloss black one down here, the lighting pattern which matches those little flick lights at the front. It actually looks pretty good. It is way sexier than a Solterra, in my opinion, although that is the whole point of the Uncharted. It has all the lettering across the back like so many cars do these days. No more logos, they're not very cool. Does have an electric tailgate. Under here, 401 litres. The Solterra Touring has 410 and the base Solterra has 421, so it's pretty close. Under here, it does have two bits of floor that lift out. That bit has the cords under it. This bit has a bit more depth, so you can take those out and go pretty deep, and the back seats mostly fold flat. So in terms of practicality, it's really close to its bigger EV sibling. So as you might have guessed, the Uncharted is a Solterra, but in a chunkier and sexier body. So same EV stats, 74.7 kilowatt hour battery, 252 kilowatts, dual motor all drive, and 0 to 100 in 5 seconds. So it's actually WRX STI level of fast in this chunky little entry-level EV. Inside the Uncharted, it is almost identical to the updated Solterra, which means mostly pretty good. The screen is now 14 inches, although it is entirely Toyota's operating system, and that is a lot better than before, but there are a lot of details that are shared with other Toyota and Lexus models, and that is a good thing when it comes to these little individual ventilation dials with the digital number in the middle, and all the controls sit there on the screen. This Uncharted all-wheel drive does have the 10-speaker Harman Kardon stereo shared with the top spec Solterra, and everything you see in here is standard apart from the panoramic roof. So that means dual wireless charging and this cool, unique little copper band that runs across the dash here that is arguably the only thing that really separates the Uncharted inside from being in the Solterra, apart from the rear headroom that we'll get to in a sec. What is different here though compared to the CHR Plus Toyota version is that the steering wheel has Subaru's boxed section at the top and the bottom. So I have not been a fan of the squared off steering wheel in the Solterra, but I will give it another try in the Uncharted when we drive it soon. But in the meantime, it does give you a better view of the instruments and it does visually differentiate the Subaru from its Toyota twin. What is missing in here though compared to the Solterra is that the Uncharted doesn't get seat ventilation. So these seats look nice and they feel quite soft and they're perforated in the middle, but they are vinyl, synthetic leather, and so not having ventilation may be an issue in Australia given how dark this interior is come summertime. Now, apart from the sportier suspension tune that is supposedly meant to differentiate the Uncharted, it's also the coupe styling and the resultant rear seat room. So in here, I don't have very much toe room. My toes are completely jammed under the front seat in front of me, which is at its lowest position. Both these seats, mind you, have full 10-way adjustments. So you can have them nice and low, and it is low, but I can't fit my toes under there. The knee room is okay. The floor's kind of high. The seat actually would be pretty good for kids, but for adults, it is better than older Toyota CHRs, for example, but it is not as spacious as the Solterra. So here you are going for the styling over the full packaging, but it is doable. We've got a bit of headroom here below the panoramic sunroof, and I have a two-way backrest here. Here is in the upright position, although you can go to here, which is slightly reclined, which actually wouldn't be too bad on a trip. So pretty good, but not amazing, though not particularly roomy. We do have two USB-C ports down here, do have rear seat heating, and we do have rear seat air vents. We also have an almost completely flat floor. So it has all the EV stuff, but this is more about being a sportier, sexier looking car than a family SUV. While the idea of a smaller and sportier version of the Solterra doesn't necessarily work in terms of interior space, it definitely does in terms of making this Subaru EV cooler, especially given that it's going to beat its Toyota twin to Australia by a year. What is a little bit contentious to me is the name. Uncharted sounds a little bit like It Charted, but that's just probably myself here. It does fit the Subaru naming policy, and everything about this vehicle really does kind of give it some kind of appeal. It's fast, it's reasonably efficient. It does 522 kilometres WLTP, which is way better than the Solterra was when it launched in 2024. 10 to 80% in 30 minutes. $59,990 before on-road costs, which is the same as a Hyundai Elexio Elite and other things, whereas I feel this is a pretty good quality EV for the money. It is not perhaps as sexy as, say, a Zeekr 7X, which is slightly cheaper in its base model form, but it does give it a little bit of a point of difference. Whether it is actually sportier to drive like they're claiming is something we shall find out when we drive it soon, because most of the power does still go to the front wheels, even though this is essentially all-wheel drive. And even though it has 211 millimetres of ground clearance, that's still about 20 millimetres less than some of its combustion engine siblings. So it's not really an off-roader either. Those things will be discovered in the coming months. But in the meantime, I do like the Uncharted, and I'm sure that Subaru loves the fact they're going to beat Toyota to market by such a long time. Let us know what you think in the comments, and if you haven't subscribed, please do so below the video and hit the notification bell, and thanks for watching.